you think it's the biggest week in the history of LIV Golf, it has to be, right? Like, got to be right there.
As far as
the league, new Cleeks Golf Club, Phil with Primo, T-Rail Hatton wins the DP World Tour event, Fox Sports signs the TV deal.
Yeah, I mean, other than their opening week, it's got to be the biggest week they've had.
I didn't even mention the biggest news, like Greg Norman officially out, Scott O'Neill officially in. Like,
right.
The whole league is different. They're on Fox. They have a new. They don't even have a commissioner anymore. They have a CEO now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, this is turning a new page in the right direction.
About time.
It can only go up from here, I think. I hope. I mean, they're doing all the right things. They're getting publicity. They're making moves. They're doing the YouTube LIV crossover. I mean, it's huge. There's no bigger thing than YouTube golf right now. You know, there's so many people who don't watch. We said this before, that don't watch golf on TV necessarily. Don't even know a lot of the players. Like, you know, we can go back and say all the players from the 90s, from the early 2000s, because we watch golf. But a lot of people that are just getting into it, they got into it because of YouTube golf, not because of watching on TVs. That crossover is huge for LIV. I think that's the biggest play. Even not only just Phil and Grant, you know, one of the biggest actual professional superstars in the world and the biggest YouTube golfer in the world, but also, you know, other teams in LIV doing their own thing, like Bryson.
Torquay's doing it with
all of them,
King, with the DOD King.
Yeah, and like all of them jumping on other people's channels, making their own channels. You know, that's huge. It takes 1 million eyes to 10 million eyes, you know? So it really opens up doors. I think it's awesome. In an instant, yeah, right.
Yeah, in an instant.
Mm-hmm.
So Norman's out. So I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but we as a social media team, and I look around the room, we as a social media team are going to follow the lead here as closely as we can. Greg Norman was a shit talker, so we talked a lot of shit. Scott O'Neill, a lot more business. We're going to do a lot more business on the social media side now.
Where are you?
I'm in my living room.
Jesus. New setting. What happened in the other place?
It's all business. I'm out of the wife's closet. I got the glasses on.
Gotcha. So you're not under the steps anymore, under the stairs.
With the momentum that LIV has heading into Fox, with no more Greg Norman at the helm to like catch the butt of the jokes. You know what I mean? Like, the jokes are now headed towards the other side. It feels like LIV is getting a little more respect from the casuals, if you will.
Well, didn't you guys hear? Team golf is awesome. So
team golf is awesome. You talk about TGL. We can't go TGL on the show.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's like all of a sudden people that report for PGA are saying, "Oh, team golf is a thing. Oh, you got to get into it." It's like, we've been talking about this for 3 years already. Where the fuck have you guys been? Because all I've been hearing from you guys, the same people, 3 years, is I'll live as a failed concept. Team golf can never be successful. Yada yada yada. Now you want me to believe that they'll make it successful. Yeah, you haven't made professional golf successful.
You got a point. I mean, golf is on the downward trajectory right now overall. So if people are like, we want it back. We want it back. And like, well, if you just kept following that line, back would be no golf. I mean, that's the end of the line. It's no golf whatsoever. So the only way to turn this thing back up is to do something drastically different. EGL is included in that. LIV Golf is included in that. YouTube Golf is included in that. Par 3 leagues on YouTube for cash. It's part of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It has to be. Grass clippings is like a high stakes, moderate stakes, we're calling it now. Moderate stakes, par 3, under the lights, playing for cash, like degenerate golf league of amateurs and pros mixed teams, obviously. This week on Wednesday night, so tomorrow night, when everyone's watching this, tomorrow night, Ironheads GC are playing in the Grass Clippings League. They're going there and putting their money on the line on YouTube against like a bunch of amateurs / mildly.
They're gonna get destroyed. The amateurs are gonna kill them. They better stay home.
I saw them. They have done a wonderful job. Ironheads has done a wonderful job on Instagram this offseason of like going behind the scenes, similar to like how the Majestics showed their training camp last year. Ironheads have been doing like little clips of their workouts, like their team bonding things. They were out there playing a par 3 course the other day, and Kevin Na was just dart after dart after dart.
Really?
It's weird. Put me down for
Aaron, it's called the Grass League.
What I call it?
Grass clippings. Oh my God! Please. This is why we have 9 followers. Grass clippings.
I don't know where I came up with that part.
Oh my god.
By the way, grass clipping sounds way better.
It does, I agree.
It sounds way better than the grass league. So Ironheads going to the grass league. There's like a news story out that I don't even know who it is. I think it's LeBron. But like a bunch of NBA guys want to start like a league that's like competitive with the NBA and playing like by like various different rules or whatever, and
Wow.
go up against the NBA, like a world league. Like put a couple American teams together, put a couple European teams together, put a couple Asian teams together, and be in the off season type of thing.
Oh, like FIFA does.
Yeah, exactly. Or like cricket does, like all these world sports do. They all do it because they want to make money year round. I mean, sports isn't like seasons don't exist anymore. You look at the NFL. The NFL destroyed the idea that the sport has a season because NFL is 365 days a year. They did it right. Not destroyed in a
Okay,
bad way.
that's not true. I wish it was 365 days a year. It is unfortunately not so.
It's basically. I mean, we're gonna go from Super Bowl to combine to Super Bowl to free agency to combine to draft to roster decisions and then to be preseason football again. It's gonna go so fast. It always happens.
Love every word of that sentence that you just said.
We're not talking about football in this episode, though. We're not.
We're talking about sports in general. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Golf, same thing. Golf is not a seasonal sport. Winter golf just needs to be played in warm weather or indoors. You know what I mean? Like you can do golf all year round. So
yeah, the weather in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere are very different.
And there's places you can play all year round, right? I mean, duh. It is a big place. The PGA Tour is stuck in the 50 states, but not even 50 states, basically 49 states. They're stuck in the 49 states because they don't go to Alaska, right? Nobody goes to Alaska. They're stuck in the 49 states. They've been stuck in the 49 states.
You're telling me the PGA has a tournament in Montana? You're telling me they play in North Dakota?
They did.
You can kiss my ass. You tell me they play in North Dakota.
I don't think they've ever played in North Dakota, but I'm sure they played in Montana.
Have they played in Rhode Island?
Yes.
What about Maine?
This is a great. Listen to this.
Boom.
But
lawyered.
Yeah, you got me. But they did a matchup in Montana. I know that where Bryson was hitting the ball. Bryson was in that match, and he was hitting the ball like 600 yards or something like that because of the elevation changes. It was wild.
I've seen guys playing in parts of Colorado. Same thing.
Yeah. Elevation changes. Anyway, Jay,
use your words.
I don't know how to ask this.
Oh boy.
Do you think LIV could possibly be like by the end of this year an actual like mainstream sport? Because it's not right now. We can pretend like because we talk about it all the time. Everyone talks about it all the time.
Can we before Jay to assist you? Can I get a baseline? What sports are mainstream? So like, let me ask you this, okay, Aaron? Are the X Games mainstream sports?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say no.
No, yes, 100%. X Games are. Everyone knows about the X Games. If you could walk up to somebody and be like, hey, did you watch LIV Golf? And the person not say, no, I don't watch that. You know what I mean? Like, I've never heard of that. What is that? That's where we're at right now. Like, there's a lot of people that you walk up to and talk to about LIV Golf. I'm not even sure. Like, what is...
Yeah, what is LIV Golf?
What did you say?
I think you and I have a different use of our times because I don't walk up to anyone and ask them if they've watched LIV Golf.
You know what I mean, hypothetically.
That's all he does all day long. All right, hon, I'm going out.
He's like, all right, no. He's just walking around the grocery store looking lost. He's like,
can you hand me those cucumbers? By the way, do you?
I like that coffee. By the way, have you heard about our Lord and Savior Greg Norman and LIV Golf?
Oh god.
No, but seriously,
would you be able to open up your heart to team golf?
Do I think it will be mainstream by the end of this year? Like a household name, you mean? Or like something that everybody has seen at least once? Or both?
Something that sports fans could have a sports fan conversation about. Like you can't have a conversation with somebody like, oh man, can you believe the Four Aces haven't won on American soil since 2022? You know what I mean? Like you can't.
I think that takes years. I think that takes years to develop that.
I will say this. In my line of work where I'm talking to people on a daily basis, when someone mentions that, terrible, awful people. When I talk to people and they mention that they golf or anything like that, and I ask them about...
Lesbians don't golf.
Yeah. Yes, they do. They just use their dildos. So, yeah, exactly. And I asked them if they mentioned that we talk about golf, and I was like, oh, have you checked out LIV Golf? every person that I've ever met that I've talked to about golf with have heard about Live Golf.
Yeah, I think everybody's heard of Live Golf. I just don't think it's
Okay.
as
But can
mainstream.
they
Well,
have a
that's why I was
conversation?
asking
Can
for a
they have a
definition.
conversation?
He
That's the
made
thing.
it sound like you could sit here and talk stats with people. That I don't
Yes,
think
that's what
is
I mean.
going to happen for a
That's never
while.
going to
Things are
happen.
going to have to
That
develop, and it's going to become like, yeah, I could do that with the PGA Tour because
How
I've
about
watched it
five
forever.
teams? How about 5 teams? Can 5 teams become teams that the majority of sports fans know? Can the Crushers? Can Ripper? Can Legion? Can High Flyers?
You have to
Can
remember, golf's been around since the 1800s. There's been plenty of time to build that conversation piece and get statistics and grow up watching something. But something so new, I think it's going to take a long time to happen. Unless
I'm
you're
with
talking to
Jay. It's
live
going to take time.
fans. Unless it's just a group of live fans that watch it weekly. It's not going to be a mainstream thing for people who don't or outside of it.
Like, you have to think of it like this. We're talking about a sport that, for like Jay said, the longest time has been a singular athlete sport, like tennis, right? Nobody talks about, oh, have you heard about this tennis team? Nobody fucking knows. If there is one, they haven't heard of it. But they can name tennis stars over the
Roger
years. It's the same
Federer,
thing.
Rafael
People can
Nadal?
name golf, professional athletes that are golfers, you know what I mean? But, to bring this up, it's going to take time to get there. But I think anybody that golfs, which is a large portion of America golfs, they've heard of and will talk to you about Live. Now, whether or not they actually want to watch it or give a shit is something else entirely, but they've heard of it and they can have a conversation about it.
Well, I think, like we said in the opening, now that they're making the right strides, now it's going to be on Fox, mainstream TV. I think that helps. I don't think it's going to be boom overnight, but I think that helps. That's going in the right direction. Because if you watch it on an app or you watch it, like when in their first season, it's not nearly as easy to attract a bigger crowd. But having it on Fox is going to be big.
Jay, are you telling me that not everybody in the United States downloaded the CW app to watch Live?
I
Careful,
mean,
careful.
It sounds
yeah, we
like
got
that's
to
what you're
watch what we
saying.
say.
So, all right, let's just go straight. This is the question then, because we're arguing about what the question is. Will people be able to tell you that Phil Mickelson's team is the High Flyers by the end of the year? Like the average person, the average fan,
Yes. The average person, no.
the average
But
sports fan,
any
the average
golf
sports fan,
fan, even if they
the
don't
average
watch
sports
Live,
fan.
they've
Listen,
heard something with High Flyers. And again, we don't know. I don't think so. But all the stuff they're doing now with the marketing and moving and transitioning into YouTube, that's going to grow a massive audience. If you're saying any sports fan, I don't know, because there's a lot about hockey that I don't know. I've never been a huge hockey fan. I could sit here and ramble off hockey players, especially from the 90s, 2000s, but I'm not going to sit here and have all these statistics for you. I'm a big sports fan, but that's one sport that I'm not like super versed on. So I don't know about sports fans, but golf fans, somebody who has always watched PGA, I think they're going to know where Phil is and what team he's on and where he stands and all that. I do.
Aaron, the average American knows who Tom Brady is. They don't know who he played for or when he played for them necessarily. Okay, but they've heard of Tom Brady. People have heard of Babe Ruth. They don't know what teams he played for, right? There are players that transcend their sport necessarily, but you don't know who the average person doesn't know who they played for.
Interesting.
You know what I
So what do
mean?
you think?
So
So what do you think the goal should be then for Live Golf being on Fox? Like they gotta. I mean, they have their own goals, but like, how should we judge whether this is a success if it's not going to be like a conversation with a sports fan friend who's like, yeah, man, I became a High Flyers fan because I really like the Phil wearing the Primo joggers, or I watched Live Adelaide and I'm doing
listen,
shimmies. You know what I mean?
Jay,
Like,
real quick, if you could write this down for me. If I ever tell you I'm a fan of a certain team or player because of the clothes that they're wearing, I want you to promptly shoot me in the back of the head. Okay? Nobody is ever going to say, "Oh, I'm a real High Flyers fan because I know that Phil's wearing those Primo joggers." Nobody has ever said that ever, except for people that work at Primo.
If I got a point.
you probably got a point. No, you're actually kind of wrong because F1 people
Okay.
are brand loyal at F1. People are Mercedes fans. People are Ferrari fans. Like they're not necessarily attached to the drivers. The drivers move in and out,
Okay,
and
we're
people
not talking
stay with the
about people that
brands.
are fans of F1, okay? Because they're not watching this. They're at home coloring. And good for them, okay? Good for them if they
Yeah,
don't eat all the crayons before they finish their picture.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know.
To be determined, I guess. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Time's gonna tell. I think time's gonna be needed though.
I feel like the last 3 years have been such a waste of time for LIV. If only they could have been at this point from the start. If we could have been 3 years down the road, that so much would have been different in golf. It's a stupid point, but so much would have been different in golf had they just played nice in the sandbox, whatever you want to call it. Like,
Aaron, what has Fox Sports reached out to you to set us up with a an hour-long weekly show to go over what's happened and live that week?
what a great idea! What a great idea! I will.
Because I'm
I'll send them an
available.
email. I'll send them an email.
Okay, and knowing how things work at Fox Sports, I know you're willing to fuck someone to get a job there. So
I don't care what he looks
they,
like. I don't care
They
what
need to know that. They need to know that. Okay.
I don't care how old he is. I'll do Skip.
Oh God.
Is he on Fox? I don't even know. I just made that up.
No, he was at Fox. He was the guy that was like, yeah, I'll pay. He offered his hairdresser $1.5 million to sleep with her.
Yeah, we'll even go on FS2 or whatever. I mean, don't care. Put us on at 2 a.m. on FS. We've gotten off the rails a little bit here, but it's it's exciting. Season's gonna start. Yeah, it is. Season's gonna start soon. We're gonna do preview show like we always do. Do predictions for the majors like we always do. We'll put that show together here soon because, I mean, we only got 16 days when everyone's seeing this, so we got 2 weeks to put together our predictions for the year. So get on it.
He's working on it right now.
They just got to figure out how to join the show on a weekly basis. Be ideal.
I was in there listening.
2025.
Guys did a great job opening.
Anybody else got anything? Do we want to put a wager on the game, the football game, a golf wager?
Yeah. What do you guys do?
Oof. Aaron, every single time you do this, it doesn't end well for you.
I got a question.
What are you willing to part with? All right, go ahead, Jay. Before
do you still say Redskins or do you say Commanders as a fan? Not Chris as a fan.
Interchangeable.
Depends on if he's talking to other fans of Washington or they're talking to other people.
It's true. If I'm speaking to someone that I don't know,
if you're talking to a group of 10 friends talking about football,
Redskins.
Yeah, it's called AA.
So I got to talk to Cheech to see if we're gonna do a side bet on your two teams. This is gonna be interesting. So what do you guys have to say? You're not gonna talk to each other about this? Come on.
What do you want to wager?
I will put.
You got to give them those teeth you got.
I'll do the next episode without the top.
I'm out on that one. That's going to make me puke.
No tops. And then you have to do the show with no shirt. Topless. We'll do a topless bet. I do no teeth. You do no shirt. So I get 3.5 points. What's the spread? I'm getting points here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What's the spread?
It is putting line.
Right now, whatever it is right now at bet time.
It's 5.5.
5.5?
You owe me 5.5.
Wow. Might as well take your shirt off now.
5.5.
It's going to be so much closer than that. No, I'm straight up win.
Oh, of course, straight up win for you.
That was for the fans.
Dude, you and I both know that this game is going to be a lot closer than 5.5 points.
I can't do straight up.
Why not?
You got to give me a little something more if I'm doing straight up.
Okay. What are your terms?
I'll think about it. We'll post it on Instagram. That's a good.
You know what? Here it is.
We'll post it on Instagram.
Here it is. I'll do the show next show topless and I will shave off my beard that took me like 2 years to grow and just have a gross little mustache.
I'd feel bad. How about...
Either way, you're both going to make me sick looking at you. Oh, my God.
All right.
How about this?
You know what?
Topless for the next 4 episodes versus 1 episode of teeth. Straight up. Money line.
You have to smile a lot, though, if you take those things out.
I'm going to be laughing my ass off at myself to see my face.
You're going to be whistling the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Sweaty nice.
All right. Hail to the Commanders, baby.
So the thing is, guys.
All right. I got nothing
All right.
else.
We got to get out of here.
We got to get out of here. We got to the best. We got everything covered. Like, follow, subscribe. Find us on Instagram. Do all them things. That's it. Let's get the fuck out of here.